The green Chaos Crystal shouldn't exist. An artifact that channels the energy coursing through the iconic Green Ranger. It has the ability to amplify its user's power, but can also be used to traverse the multiverse. It pops up at crucial inflection points throughout the comics, altering the course of Ranger history. This is how one crystal changed the Power Rangers forever. The Boom Studios comics kicks off after the end of the Green Ranger saga. While Rita Repulsa's spell is now broken and the Power Rangers have become a complete team, Tommy still struggles with the Space Witch's lasting influence. Her hallucinations plague the Green Ranger, whispering doubt into his ears, questioning his ability to be a hero and to fit in. It is at this moment that the real Rita launches the first step of her next plan. Sending down Bolzer to Angel Grove, the grown monster immediately tests the Rangers' ability to fight together with their Zords. It does not go well as the Dragon Zord fails to respond to Tommy's commands, and only the speed of Kimberly and her Dinozord are able to save civilians from certain doom. And although the monster is defeated, the incident leads Jason to question Tommy's ability to follow orders, as he had jumped into action without a plan. Meanwhile, Scorpina is able to retrieve something from the corpse of Bolzer, the green Chaos Crystal. Similar to the green candle, this artifact is attuned to the chaos energy that powers the Dragon Coin. With it in her possession, Rita then does something that she has never done before: attack the Power Rangers in their own home. Chapter 2: The Black Dragon. To further charge the Chaos Crystal, Scorpina invades Tommy's home. This escalation infuriates the Green Ranger, who manages to teleport both of them out into the woods. There, along with a squadron of putties, they fight. But as Tommy is about to be overwhelmed, Jason, Kimberly, and Zach arrive to help end the threat. Scorpina returns to Rita in defeat, but is surprised to learn that everything is going according to plan, and is in fact moving on to the next phase. Using the remains of a putty destroyed by the Green Ranger, Finster crafts a duplicate Dragon Dagger. Combined with the green Chaos Crystal, it enables Scorpina to seize control of the Dragon Zord and attack the city. But because Tommy had fainted earlier from the mental stress of being constantly attacked from all sides, Jason has him sit out the fight. As he watches helplessly, the Green Ranger resolves that doing something is better than nothing. Jumping back into the fray, Tommy is able to breach the Dragon Zord's cockpit and shatter the fake Dragon Dagger, allowing him to regain command. Yet, in the aftermath, the Rangers begin to argue over Tommy's rogue actions. Their conflict continues to fuel the crystal, reaches critical mass, and results in an explosion that breaks the command center. As the dust settles, the Power Rangers are faced with the culmination of Rita's plan, the arrival of the mysterious Black Dragon. The Power Rangers are only able to survive their battles because they are a team. In the same way, you can help this place be sustainable and continue to create videos about the Power Ranger comics, and beyond, by becoming a member today. Chapter 3: The Ranger Slayer. The Black Dragon is unlike anything the Power Rangers have ever faced. The mechanical beast possesses the capacity to disrupt the Power Rangers' ability to stay morphed while in combat. This, combined with its gruesome strength, sees the first battle ending with a retreat from the Rangers. However, the Black Dragon is able to capture Billy in the attempt and use his blue power coin along with the green Chaos Crystal to cut off access to the Morphin grid for the core Rangers. This leaves Tommy as the only Ranger, as Rita captures and occupies the remains of the command center. In time, our heroes discover that the Black Dragon is not a monster, but in fact, a Zord. Built out of pieces of the Dragon Zord in another timeline, this fearsome machine is piloted remotely by Lord Drakkon, a variant of Tommy that stayed evil in his world. When the Black Dragon is defeated, it results in an interdimensional explosion that sends both Billy and Tommy into Drakkon's universe. There, the duo team up with the Coinless Resistance, defeat Drakkon, and return to the main timeline. The Power Rangers secure the green Chaos Crystal, but unbeknownst to them, the evil Tommy ends up in their world. A weakened Drakkon is arrested by a shadowy organization. While back in his home base, his top lieutenant is gearing up to retrieve him, the Ranger Slayer. Chapter 4: Time Travel. What if the Pink Ranger turned evil like Tommy? Lord Drakkon makes that happen when he enslaves Kimberly using a version of the spell that Rita used to bind him to darkness. Thus, the Ranger Slayer is born. Wielding the Bow of Darkness, she leads Drakkon's Ranger sentries against the Coinless Insurgency with sinister precision. When Drakkon is unexpectedly dragged into the main timeline and captured, Finster 5 gives the Ranger Slayer their last remaining piece of the green Chaos Crystal in a bid to retrieve their master. She uses the Crystal Shard to traverse the boundaries of the multiverse, only to find that she has traveled to a time before the Green Ranger was even created. Now stuck, the Ranger Slayer attempts to contact her world, to no avail. Looking to utilize the command center's communications array, she sends her Grave Zord to assault Angel Grove as a distraction. While the Power Rangers are busy battling her mecha that is crafted out of pieces of the fallen Dino and Thunder Zords, she invades their base. Luckily, the Pink Ranger is able to intercept the Ranger Slayer before she can do further damage to Alpha. In the melee, Kimberly is able to shatter the Bow of Darkness, freeing the Ranger Slayer from Drakkon's control. This sets up the formerly evil Ranger to contribute to Drakkon's eventual defeat in a major way. Chapter 5: Redemption. When the Ranger Slayer's Bow of Darkness is shattered, the variant of Kimberly Hart reckons with her actions while under Drakkon's control. Although she was deprived of control over her body, much like Tommy was, she still experienced the horrors of her deeds firsthand. A heart-to-heart with her main universe counterpart in the command center seems to help somewhat, as does the tantalizing allure of shakes at Ernie's. Assuming the guise of being Kimberly's cousin Sally, the older Kim visits the juice bar and, for a time, relaxes. But then, she encounters Matthew Cook, whom she watched die in her timeline. While she excuses herself to collect her thoughts, Drakkon, who has managed to escape his prison, opens a line of communication with her. Kim quickly attempts to keep up the facade that she is still a loyal soldier, but her questioning of Drakkon's plans spoil the ruse. As Drakkon bids her a final goodbye, intending on stranding her forever in the past, Kim resolves to make sure that her friends never die again. Returning to the command center, she initiates a search for Tommy Oliver. Finding him training alone in a gym, the Ranger Slayer shoots the Ranger-to-be with her shard of the green Chaos Crystal, imbuing him with locked memories of the future. This move will be key in allowing Tommy to defeat his dark counterpart, Drakkon, at the end of the Shattered Grid story arc. Chapter 6. Tommy's Endgame. The green Chaos Crystal is the main reason that Tommy dies. Back in the main timeline, Drakkon has been captured by Promethea, a private organization led by Grace Sterling. She was once the mighty Morphin Red Ranger in the 60s, drafted into service to stop the Psycho Green Ranger from retrieving the Dragon Power Coin from Rita's space dumpster. When Saba made the mistake of trying to kill Drakkon in his cell, it allowed the villain to escape using the Talking Saber's ability to create portals. After tricking Ninjor into restoring his Black Dragon Ranger powers, Drakkon infiltrates the command center. There, he is able to steal the green Chaos Crystal and ambush Tommy in an alley, stabbing him in the back and killing him to siphon his powers to charge the crystal. The powered-up crystal allows Drakkon to return home and enact his plan to shatter and enter the Morphin Grid. After a long campaign, Drakkon is able to achieve his goals and becomes powerful enough to reshape the universe in his image. However, the Ranger Slayer's actions in the past allowed Tommy's spirit to survive death and revive in Drakkon's dream world. Then, with the help of his friends, they are able to defeat the god Drakkon and reset the multiverse. As a result, the green Chaos Crystal is lost to time, until it reappears in the hands of Lord Zedd. Chapter 7. Legacy. Lord Zedd truly surprised me. At the end of the Necessary Evil story arc, the Emperor of Evil is freed from a short stint in the space dumpster. Returning to the Moon Palace, Zedd reveals that he now holds the green Chaos Crystal. With it, he puts together a dastardly plan. By embedding it deep within a monster that he then sends to Earth, Zedd baits the Rangers into destroying it with a power blast. The crystal eagerly soaks up the energy from the combined weapon, charging it to a level that allows Lord Zedd to imbue his henchmen with Ranger-like abilities. In addition, he is able to give them monstrous Terrorzords to fight against the Rangers' Thunderzords. The ferocity of both the Dark Rangers and their animalistic Zords are on the verge of overwhelming and destroying the Power Rangers until Grace Sterling is finally able to activate her own Green Ranger, introducing a new wild card into the world of the comics. This upgraded Ranger leaps into action, attacking both Lord Zedd and the green Chaos Crystal. The Emperor of Evil frantically tries to warn the new Green Ranger against destroying the artifact, but is too late. The resulting explosion knocks out Zedd, marking the end of the Dark Ranger threat as well as the green Chaos Crystal itself. However, its energy transfers to Lord Zedd in the process, making him more powerful than ever. This potent gem has woven its way through the comic's narrative, helping to shape major events in the process. To see how Zedd puts this newfound power to use, read the comics for yourself. I will put up a link where you can find my recommended reading list. Also, check out this video about 7 Ranger teams exclusive to the comics. Subscribe and stay tuned for more from Morphin Shorts.